Would like to find out, how would you describe the Thursday polls?
If you follow a number of electoral processes that we've gone through over a period of time, you don't see much difference with what just happened. We just go through choreographed processes where more or less the outcomes, at least at the presidential level, have already been predetermined. Where many people may get at times confused and ask themselves, why on earth do we therefore participate in these kinds of elections? You know, when we are involved in a struggle in the terms of changing mindsets, exposure is also a way of enabling people to recognize that things are not normal. The more people understand that there is abnormality in the nature of governance in this country, is when you participate, more and more people get exposed. But at the same time, that continuous pressure that you keep on exerting also adds value in the exercise, but also having a platform that enables you to keep on projecting what alternatives you have is also a factor.
General, according to the results released by the Electoral Commission, you are placed fourth with less than just 1%. Would you concede?
I don't care about numbers. De facto, General Museveni is going to be the president. Whether you accept, you don't accept, it doesn't matter. I mean, we've gone this through so many times. I never get bothered about numbers, whether through campaigns, numbers, on what has been announced. What I care about is the reality. What is the reality on the ground? That has not changed. Will it change? I highly doubt whether it will change.
One of the contestants you're with in this race, Frank Bulira, has actually gone to court to challenge this whole process. Would you join him?
Well, I hope he has the evidence to show. We don't. We know there has been manipulation as has happened in the past. Unfortunately, we didn't have adequate coverage of all polling stations where we would feel confident that we have 45,000 plus DR forms, and there's proof here. If we had that, I can tell you would have been the first to go there.
One of the challenges that has been mentioned is the low voter turnout this time round. Where do you think the problem is, and how can it be solved?
There are people who don't think that elections work. There are also those who are so frustrated because of the challenges of our times. Some people find don't have jobs, others don't have, money to sort out whatever challenges they have. And they are simply frustrated. They don't see any sense in the electoral process. There are those who think like that. There are other people who have different reasons which you don't know about. That's why it would be good if we're able to get research done specifically, because 10 million people is a lot. 10 million adults is a lot. More so if they also have the political consciousness to know that a vote determines their future. If a vote is respected, that is.
General, it's close to a week since we held the elections, but many areas seem to have more deployment of security forces, and others seem to be like in a silent curfew. What do you have to say about that?
That's the whole point, to show that they don't have the numbers they claim to be having. Jerome Seven was saying that if all voted, that they would have had higher numbers. So why would they be having that kind of panic like we have seen them deploy in many districts where they had to vote? It's something that we don't just grieve about. It is something that reflects the culture of politics in this country. It is something that gives us the determination to keep organizing and building to see how to deter that. Because if we don't do that, then where we're heading down the road, we could get into a situation that no one desires to find themselves in.
The Electoral Commission declared President Museveni the winner of the Thursday polls with 71%. Just in case you got an opportunity to meet him, what would you tell him?
Maybe I would ask why they didn't give him 98.
Today we see the President General of the Democratic Party actually serving in the current government. In the event that President Museveni reached out to you and asked you to join his government and serve the people of Uganda, would you accept the offer?
Any discussion that will happen would have to be party to party. Yes.
I know the polls are behind us now. Uganda is still here. What could be a message to all the Ugandans?
I don't want to live in the past. We want to use the past for purposes of learning lessons. These lessons must be applied on how do we influence the future? How do we ensure that we build a firm foundation on the basis of which, down the road where there is an increasing population, which we know has already been projected to reach about 100 million people. How do we have 100 million mouth fed? How do we have 100 million lives catered for in terms of health, in terms of education, in terms of transportation, in terms of decent housing? We have to think about these things. They're not just going to happen by accident. So we are going to keep doing our part. We are hoping that the Ugandan people who think like we do or who support our objectives as a party, that they are going to come in and give us resources for us to be able to do what is necessary to be done to influence the situation, the undesirable situation as it is, and change it into a new reality that we desire to see come to be in this country. Yes.
Thank you so much for your time. That's the president of the Alliance for National Transformation, retired Major General Gregory Mugisha Muntu. I'm Benjamin Jumbe, NTV.